We got more on the brown doggle. We told you yesterday CNN did a pretty good story. We played it for you. I think we have a link on the website. You should go watch it because this is coming from the federal government, the billions that they put out there to allegedly build a high-speed rail system in the United States is a joke. Most of the money is being used by local governments to buttress traditional slow-speed rail. Because in one case, it only improved the ride, what was that, Seattle to Portland?
Seattle to Portland by 10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's all it did.
They spent $800 million, and they got the train to go 79 miles an hour at its peak, average speed, low 50s.
So we're being scammed on both ends, by the federal government and, of course, by the California state government, which wants to use $10 billion in bond money that you people approved to build really just slow-speed rail. And now we find out that Quentin Kopp, who chaired the State Senate Transportation Committee for years and co-wrote the legislation that launched the bullet train project, he was actually board chairman of the state agency overseeing construction of the system for a time.
Yeah, he was the chairman of high-speed rail.
He's joined in a civil lawsuit to stop the brown doggle.
He put in a lot of requirements into the proposition, and he was very specific because he knew what he was dealing with. Since he spent so much time in the legislature, he knew he was dealing with a lot of lying, scheming idiots who were going to undermine this and divert the money. And it's exactly what happened. The money is being diverted now for local transit projects in L.A. and San Francisco, and it's going to be slow-speed rail. And so he wrote into the legislation, to the proposition, these trains have to go from L.A. to San Francisco 2 hours, 40 minutes, period.
And, of course, their response is, we're still going to do that. Really?
No, they're lying because it's impossible. The way they've created the slow-speed end of things in San Francisco and L.A., it's mathematically impossible.
Well,
it's easily provable in about 3 minutes.
Kopp
Just
says
bald-faced lies.
Current plans for a so-called blended system, and we know when that twist came, in which bullet trains share the tracks with local commuter trains from Gilroy to San Francisco, that plan apparently will cause bullet trains to slow so much you will not get from Los Angeles to San Francisco in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And that was the guarantee. And he says agreements to upgrade local rail systems also violate the law because it diverts bullet train money for other work not agreed to by the voters. This money was supposed to be on a bullet train that goes 2 hours and 40 minutes, L.A. to San Francisco. Period. End of story. No deviations. No excuses. And thirdly, whatever they build has to be usable.
Yeah, that's the term he uses.
And now this half-assed, half-cocked Madera to Bakersfield segment is not usable.
No, he says the really only truly feasible segment will happen when they connect Merced to our San Fernando Valley. But that's going to cost $31 billion, and they don't have that money. So that's why, I mean, he wrote all these arguments. He's joined with some of the farmers and other officials in Kings County who are going to have an upcoming civil trial to put a halt to the brown doggle.
This so violates the law. It's so clear. You can read the proposition language yourself. The law says the proposition language has to be followed, and they are doing everything but. It is a complete, total scam. They're diverting the money to local projects. It will never be built. It cannot be built.
No, this was just a way, and I like the way Randall O'Toole, a senior fellow at the Cato Institute, one of those think tanks. Oh, is that where Tony Villar is going to go? Anyway, he said apparently it's a political project to fatten the wallets of well-connected unions, contractors, engineers, and associated firms. There's a lot of money to be made out of building this, and the whole goal of high-speed rail is to make that money, to transfer money from taxpayers into the pockets of the selected supporters of the Obama administration. It always comes back to politics.
Yeah, these are con men who fleeced you if you voted for this stupid high-speed rail idea. And nobody's going to use this. It's going to be way too slow. You cannot compete with a jet airline. It's not possible. Nothing is faster than a jet airline. And I see people go, oh, yeah, but I got to wait 3 hours. No, you don't. People exaggerate it to try to make their point. I don't go 3 hours before a plane lifts off. 90 minutes to 2 hours is enough. And you're going to have to go and wait at the train station, too. And it's never going to go 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's not even going to make 4 hours at the rate it's going. this is going to be no different than the current service that they have.
So all we have left are unfortunately powerful people. Dianne Feinstein, Jerry Brown, Nancy Pelosi. They want to move forward with this. A recent poll we told you about, 54% now oppose high-speed rail. The guy that co-wrote the legislation is against this. This should be stopped. But I'm afraid that the powerful people I mentioned are going to make sure it's not stopped. It's just going to funnel money.
They're out of money. All they can do is build the stupid Madera to Bakersfield line. They're never going to get any money beyond that. So, and if they're going to build this in isolation, that violates the law, too.
All right, when we come back, a quick update on what's been on our website for like a week. Stop AB 666, the new red light camera bill.
John and Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Champeau. It's KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.